Hello and welcome to the Dits on Wrestling podcast, the Raw Navy's only pro wrestling pod, part of Project Dits. Welcome to the project and welcome to another GM mode here on the Dow Pod with me and with Anthony, the Raw General Manager, who is a lowly bystander today's episode. It's just the way I like it.
Back to how it used to be for you when you were running things solo.
True.
Just people in the audience. I'm excited. I always enjoy these episodes. One, to see what you've cooked up for your show and for your brand, but also because, yeah, I get to be a part of it and I don't really have to do much but sit back and be entertained. So I'm very excited. I had an eventful Raw this week, and you have alluded to some eventful things happening on this show for you, and so I am extremely intrigued and excited to see what you've brought to the table, and also extremely excited to know that I just get to sit and listen and I don't have to do anything.
Hands in your pockets.
Yep.
Chilling out.
If I was wearing pants, yeah.
Oh.
It's a preview for everybody listening at home.
If you join my Patreon, you'll get behind the scenes footage and photos of said Commando Anthony right now.
Wait, they will?
Sorry, I didn't mention that to you.
You did not.
That is,
what tier is that?
That's God.
Tier, right?
That's God tier. That's $100.
Okay, that's big. That comes with the free. That's like a free add-on if you just sign up and don't donate anything.
$1.
Bottom tier.
50 cents.
All you have to do is tweet at me.
Worth it. It's worth a tweet, even if it's just a full stop.
Yep.
Worth it. Worth it.
Worth every free penny.
Worth every free penny. Now, as we discussed on Raw's episode this week on Monday, and if you haven't listened to that, go and check it out. It is a very, very good episode of Raw. I can praise Raw up until I start putting my GM hat on.
Yes.
So
that's fair.
That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, it was very, very good. Of course, the Dalpod Observer reviewed that on Wednesday, so go and check that out as well. And and then find yourself right back here, ready for some SmackDown action.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Action.
And of course, yes, we're still not doing recaps, so yeah, go and check out Sunday's Dalpod Observer for the review of SmackDown Night 3. And actually go and listen to SmackDown Night 3 because there are some stuff that, of course, Justin's not going to go into depth like I do. And I feel if you don't listen to my Bray Wyatt segment from last week, you will be doing yourself a disservice. Yep.
I second that notion.
Yes.
I second that notion completely. As your kind of like enemy / nemesis in this series, even I will agree. Yeah, you need to listen to that. You are doing yourself a disservice. You would be a horrible human being, piece of shit, if you didn't listen. That's how I feel.
I mean, that's just generally if you don't listen to the show.
Right. Exactly.
Full stop.
Piece of shit.
So.
Yep. Full stop.
Full stop. It's the end of that. It's the end of that. I don't want to keep people waiting.
No.
Let's.
Not
we've already talked about the stresses of putting these things together, and it was stressful. 10 hours of writing compared to the 2 hours it's taken me to do the past 3 shows.
It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Oh,
not Patreon tears. I mean, like crying tears.
Real tears.
Real tears.
Real tears. And yes, I don't know personally how this show is going to be perceived by everybody else. I feel that it's overbooked.
You also felt that last week,
but
though.
I did feel that last week, and I also felt like I peaked last week. So,
peaked in high school.
Ooh.
Not good.
However, again, you need video to know what goes on this half the time. I did that. I flicked my arms as if I have sleeves, but I don't have any sleeves.
Yeah, but he does not.
I do not have sleeves. Let's get into SmackDown. Night 4.
Oof.
Nearly at the end. We're nearly at the end.
The penultimate
SmackDown before the go home show next week before SummerSlam.
Summer Grams.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
Thanks, man.
Ooh, yes. Anything that is Grimes related, you know it's going to get a pop.
We're a massive fan of
boy,
Cameron Grimes on the show.
Cameron Grimes.
Grimes and Grimes.
Grimes and Grimes. Sounds like a cereal.
All right. I was thinking more like a buddy cop crime show.
Grimes
and Grimes. Yep. Exactly.
Make it happen.
Mondays on CBS.
Nice.
Thanks.
Do it, USA. Do it.
Put it together. Put a fucking show together.
We kick off with, of course, the fantastic intro for SmackDown. Hooray. There we go. Great little song. But guess what, Anthony?
Well,
guess what, viewers? Guess what, listeners? There is no GM's address this week.
What?
No.
Uh-oh, this show's already gone sideways, and I love it.
We kick off with just an opening show promo. So, yeah, no GM address this week. We get a promo package showing some of the matches for tonight. Of course, Apollo Crews versus Sheamus for the US title was booked last week by the GM. We got Chad Gable versus Bobby Lashley. They've obviously had their issues over the last couple of weeks, and they're now going to finally face off in the ring this week. And Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. We're finally getting to see those two go at it in the ring. But this one comes with a stipulation.
Uh-oh.
Whoever wins this match becomes the #1 contender for Bayley's women's title at SummerSlam.
Oh, much like some Raw action.
Oh yes, oh yes. Could be great minds thinking alike here.
Interesting, could be.
Interesting.
Probably not.
Brace, brace, brace. Match 1. We have
promo.
Kyla. We have camera grabs. We have New Day kicking off the show versus Heavy Machinery.
Ooh.
Haven't really seen Heavy Machinery on SmackDown.
Forgot they were on the roster.
You know, they also they came to the GM after the show finished. They didn't realize that it was off air, and they was like, "Yo, bro, what about me, yo?" Because that's what Otis sounds like when he talks.
Yep.
Yep.
Much like Apollo Crews last week when he showed up in the GM's office and be like, "Hey, I exist.
I exist. Come on, man." It's not like I'm a champion or anything.
Yeah, right.
Kofi and Big E are teaming together tonight. Obviously against Otis and Tucker. Heavy Machinery on top for the opening stages of the match, grounding Kofi and blocking that big hot tag to Big E. A failed caterpillar attempt allows Kofi to get his partner's corner and bring in the big man. He cleans house, rattling Otis with clotheslines and a big splash. Tucker is then tagged in, but receives a barrage of suplexes, and then he rolls to the apron and slowly gets to his feet. He's in position. And Big E is there to nail that huge spear through the ropes. But then Kofi suddenly dragged off the apron and slammed into the steel steps, causing a DQ. It's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Just as Big E is up and heading towards them, he is then attacked from behind by Roderick Strong with Adam Cole barking orders. At this point, Woods has grabbed a chair to come in over and protect his buddies, and managed to hit Strong in the back, but the rest of UE swarm all over him and put an end to that weak assault. The New Day are down at ringside, with all members of the Undisputed Era standing over them. Backstage.
Backstage.
Drew McIntyre is seen arriving at the arena, and Kayla catches him for an interview. She asks how he is after the attack 2 weeks ago, and says that although he's still a little bit banged up, he's ready to start handing out claymores tonight. Says he's not stupid. The 4 idiots of the Undisputed Era jumped me 3 weeks ago after I defended my title against Sheamus, and then 1 week later I'm attacked by 4 other guys. Were those hoods supposed to be effective? They might as well have worn Undisputed Era merch. I'm going to the ring tonight, and I want every single one of those pricks to face me.
He said pricks on TV?
He said pricks on TV.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, he's not happy.
I'm just entertained right now.
He's not happy. We remain backstage, and Matt Riddle is preparing for his match tonight, and Miz and Morrison interrupt him. They mock him for not having much luck against Brock so far, and say his chances of beating him at SummerSlam are non-existent. Of course, that match was made last week. Riddle says that once he beats Morrison tonight, he'll address the situation. And he just asks as he's walking away if he can star in their next music video, and says, I have a really good name. We'll call it Hey Hey, Bro Bro. He smiles and walks off, singing the song, much to Miz and Morrison's annoyance. Hey, hey, bro.
Bro. I like it.
Yeah. Everything is linked to bro with Matt Riddle, so why the fuck not? Match 2. We have Matt Riddle versus John Morrison. This match is as excellent as you think it would be. They already put on a clinic earlier on in the year, but this tops it. Because it's my show and it's better.
And because I wrote it that
way. Morrison plays up to his parkour shtick, whilst Riddle tries to keep him grounded with his submission offense. The Miz tries to play his part in interfering in the match late on, but is met with a high knee from Riddle. A roll-up by Morrison ends with a 2 count, but Riddle is straight back up to hit a German suplex. He finishes the match in dominating fashion with a bro to sleep and bro Derek for the win. As promised, he gets a mic to address his match at SummerSlam with Brock Lesnar. He says that it's no secret that he's wanted Brock for years, and now he has him. He may be bigger. In fact, I've actually written, he may be the bigger bro.
Oh. Also, the first 3 letters in Brock are bro.
They are, coincidentally.
Broke Lesnar.
But that means nothing in our match in 2 weeks. Lesnar thinks he's some kind of tough guy, and I'm going to embarrass him in a game that I'm actually better at. The stats don't lie, bro.
Nice.
And he does actually have a better UFC record. I did look that up. That was fact checked. At SummerSlam, you can attack me from behind all you want, because you won't have anywhere to run after you do. There are no more hunters. This is just about who is going to be a victim. I'll see you in the fight pit.
Whoa.
Oh.
Pits.
Oh. Brock Lesnar versus Matt Riddle. SummerSlam in a fight pit match. Hoofa. Be excited for that.
Fight pit!
Backstage, Daniel Bryan is talking to Edge in the locker room, and they discuss the Orton situation. Edge tells Bryan that he needs to keep him out of his head. He says he may have won that cage match 2 weeks ago, but I don't feel like I've come away with the real winner here. This is what he does. He targets everything that is important to you. And Bryan says that he's played these games with Randy before, and as far as he's concerned, it's game over. At SummerSlam, he's going to defang the Viper. Edge tells him to tread carefully, but he's got to go and prepare to go down to the ring tonight. And Bryan asks if it's anything to do with Ciampa. Edge nods with an angry, intense look and leaves the locker room.
Ooh.
Match 3.
Third match.
Chad Gable versus Bobby Lashley. After weeks of getting the upper hand on the Hurt Business, Lashley is out to demolish Gable. Bobby's fast, but he's unable to get his hands on Chad to use his power game. Gable is running circles around Bobby, getting in the occasional kicks, but then Lashley rocks Gable with a huge lariat and unleashes that power game. After keeping Gable at bay for most of the match, Lashley can't get the win and goes to finish things off with a spear. Chad sidesteps and locks in the ankle lock, but MVP gets up on the apron and Gable knocks him off. He turns and walks straight into a brutal spear. Lashley goes to pin, but picks him up at 2. He picks him up, locks him in that full Nelson, and Chad Gable taps. But Bobby keeps him locked in and ragdolls Gable around. And after a minute, he throws him to the ground. And MVP and Lashley head to the back. Gable is down in the ring. He's hurting. He's gutted at being bested tonight. And he sits up. And the lights go off. In the corner of the ring,
oh God,
is a lantern. The only light in the arena, and it's throwing out tons of smoke. Gable gets to his feet and moves over to the lantern, and as he goes to touch it, it goes out, leaving him in darkness and waist-high smoke. Suddenly, the arena is filled with the chatter of children's voices, and although you can't decipher what they're saying, the words follow and buzzards keep jumping out louder and louder. So it's like, follow, buzzards. Like that.
What's it like? Tell me again, what's it like?
It's like if you ever played the first Metal Gear Solid, and you first bump into the Grey Wolf or Grey Fox when he's slicing all those soldiers up when he goes to see Hal Emmerich, and you're walking down that little corridor.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
I don't know if you did that on purpose, but Metal Gear Solid is my favorite game series of all time. So
did we just become best friends?
We might have.
But the voices stop as the lantern's light comes back on. Only this time,
I was just like, the voices stop, and all you hear is Snake.
Snake. Uh-huh. D. What's a Russian gunship doing here? Colonel.
Sons of Liberty. Oh, man. Lolly Lule Low. Guns of the...
And all of a sudden, Liquid Snake.
Yeah. Revolver Ocelot.
Yes. Where am I? Yeah, that's it. Oh my God, where am I? Oh, yes. The voices stop.
Yep.
As the lantern's light again comes back on. Only this time, a hand is seen holding it. In the darkness, the lantern is carried all the way around the ring. It's swung around a couple of times, and then it stops at the bottom of the ramp. Bray's voice in a whisper says, "Follow the buzzards." A spotlight hits the ring, and Grimes and Dallas are stood behind Gable. Chad realizes what is going on and slowly turns around to meet the vacant stares of both Grimes and Bo. They attack Gable, with Grimes choking him out like they did with Jeff last week. And Gable is down in the smoke that still fills the ring with Cameron and Bo sat beside him. Bray's laughter fills the arena as the lantern is brought up to the face of the holder at ringside. It's blown out, and when the lights come up, only Gable remains in the ring. All I'll say is tune in for next week because...
Son of a bitch!
I'm teasing you with that. Backstage, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are in the corridor and they're talking about their recent wins that they've enjoyed together. Owens says that there seems to be a level of competition between them still, even after all of these years. Sami agrees and says that at least you haven't attacked me yet. Owens says that they are far past that. He's matured and no longer needs to rely on underhanded tactics or stepping over his friends to get to the top. Sami says that if that's the case, how about we have some friendly competition? Owens is intrigued. Sami goes on to say that they're clearly the best tag team on SmackDown, so we have nothing to prove there. But between us, who's the better wrestler? Owens asks if they're really going to do this and go down this road, and Zayn says, why the hell not? If the GM ever decides to show up tonight, I'll get him to book our match next week on SmackDown. Owens says, all right, you're on, and they both look at each other as the camera cuts to the ring. Match 4. US title match between Apollo Crews and Sheamus.
Hey, Apollo's getting some time.
He is. Apollo Crews is out to get himself noticed tonight after he voices concerns to the GM last week. That's me. It's a hard fought bout between these two, with Sheamus using his hard-hitting strikes to balance against Crews' agility. As the match wears on, Sheamus has Apollo right where he wants him and signals for a brogue kick. Crews is able to duck it, lift Sheamus up in a military press, and drop him down. He hits the standing shooting star press for a 2 count. But as Crews stands up, he's clocked from behind in the head with the US title. Sheamus is of course DQ'd as Roderick Strong stands over Crews with the US title in his hand with the rest of the Undisputed Era at ringside. Promo! Edge makes his way to the ring and grabs a mic. He shouts for Ciampa to come out and face him like a man instead of striking when he's vulnerable. He says he's not vulnerable now and he's ready to spear Ciampa back down to NXT and back onto his spot on the bench.
Oh.
Edge says that he got benched for 9 freaking years and not once did he complain. He counts himself lucky that he's able to wrestle again, but a lot of that was down to the effort that he put in to lace up those boots once again. He says, this is my second chance, this is my time, and this is my place.
Oof.
He says, you are just a cockroach that has weaseled its way in to SmackDown. Ciampa's music hits, and he walks out with his crutch and a mic. He says that he thought he made it clear last week that if you were to miraculously recover, you'd regret it. He starts walking down to the ring, but Edge is wasting no time whatsoever. He storms out of the ring and charges up to Ciampa. They start to brawl around the stage, clobbering each other with stiff shots. And Ciampa's perched against the ringside barrier. And as Edge goes to spear, Ciampa launches him through the plexiglass. He gets his crutch, heads over to Edge, and starts smashing him in the back with it. Multiple times. Officials quickly pour into the ringside area and pull Ciampa away. As Ciampa gets up onto the stage, he smiles and waves and heads backstage. Edge staggers to his feet, his teeth are clenched, and he gives Ciampa a death stare to close out the segment. Match 5. Main event match. Ooh. Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. #1 contenders match to face Bayley for the women's title at SummerSlam. As the bell rings, Sonya starts to taunt Mandy and gets in her face. Rose is having none of it and clocks her with a punch. The two brawl, and that sets the tone for the rest of the match. That is more strikes than grapples. The match spills outside, and Sonya sits Mandy down by the steps and attempts a running knee. But Mandy's quick to get up and hits a drop toe hold on Deville, driving her face first into the steel steps. Sonya is busted open. Rose goes to capitalize and throws Sonya into the ring, and she hits the bed of roses, but Deville somehow kicks out. Mandy, of course, is shocked. You know, Sonya's still gushing from her head, and this match seemingly has no end. Mandy tries to hit that finish once again, but Sonya manages to grab Rose's arm and locks her in the triangle armbar that has bested Mandy for the last 2 weeks. Mandy refuses to give up, so Sonya gets vicious.
Uh-oh.
She loosens the position of the arm.
Oh, no.
Or she shifts the position of the arm, loosens the pressure,
Uh-oh.
and instead of pulling away, Mandy's like perplexed. She's shocked. Like, why are you letting go? So Sonya's still got a grip, but it's not full on. She stares into Mandy's eyes with that bloody soaked face.
I don't want to hear this.
And then snaps Mandy's arm.
Great minds. What are the odds?
Rose is screaming in pain, and the referee immediately calls for the bell and reluctantly gives the victory to Deville. Officials and medical staff pile out from the back as Sonya stands at Mandy with a crimson face. She turns to face the hard cam and shouts, "Prepare yourself for that, Bayley."
Wow.
Great minds.
Great minds. What are the odds?
I know.
Man, in the women's match,
main
similar
event
thing, main event, number one contendership on the line. What are the fucking odds?
And that genuinely was not copied. That is what I had down. Like that's so bizarre that
That's
has
crazy. I got goosebumps. That's fucking nuts.
Promo. Drew, it's not over. Drew McIntyre is seen briefly backstage heading out to the ring as he promised earlier in the night. As he heads down to Gorilla, the GM, that's me, can be seen just out of sight. He watches Drew walk away and he makes a call. Out comes Drew, and he wastes little time in calling out the Undisputed Era, and all four appear on the stage. Drew says that he's watched them cowardly attack members of the roster all night, and that is not going to happen with Drew. I've got 4 claymores saved up for you bastards, so how about you get into this ring now and try me? Hell, if you have to go backstage to get your hoodies on so you feel like big men, then you can crack on.
Oof.
Adam Cole gets on the mic and says they had nothing to do with that attack. Our statement was made the week prior, and we were made to stay at home by the general manager. That doesn't mean that we didn't enjoy the hell out of it, though. He says, I may have fallen in round 1 back in NXT when we first faced off, but that doesn't happen in round 2. I've got your number, and you've already showed how weak you are since we showed up. Drew says that he seems to recall Cole challenging him to a match at SummerSlam for the WWE title last week, and he accepts. But he says, what is the point in waiting around? Get your asses down here and fight me face to face.
Oh, Raymond's back.
Yeah. Raymond.
Raymond.
Cole looks to the other guys, nods, and they make their way down to the ring. They all climb up onto the apron and stare down Drew. Drew then wears a confused look on his face and looks beyond the Undisputed Era to see the general manager stood on the stage.
What a dick.
But the Undisputed Era share that same expression when they turn to face the general manager. And when they turn around again to look in Drew's direction, on the opposite side of the ring, behind Drew, 4 hooded people wearing face masks are holding metal pipes stood on the apron. Drew turns to face them, and then back at the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole smiles, shrugs, says good luck to Drew under his breath, and the Undisputed Era head up the ramp and past the GM, who doesn't even acknowledge them. Drew is now stood sideways trying to figure out what his next plan of attack is. Under his breath, he mutters, okay, and immediately claymores one of the hooded guys off of the apron. As the other 3 climb into the ring, he hits another claymore on one of them before quickly rolling out of the ring. The 2 remaining stand in the ring staring a hole through Drew. McIntyre sets his focus on the stage, but the GM has already left. One of the hooded guys throws his pipe at McIntyre, but it just misses and cracks the plexiglass behind Drew's head, who now wisely heads through the crowd to get out of dodge. The 2 guys who he hit with claymores are now back in the ring, and all 4 stare down Drew to close the show. Credits roll.
I'm trying to go through. I'm gonna have to go back through. I need to figure out who the hooded men are.
Are you looking at the roster?
Yeah, but I don't have the rest of the SmackDown roster. I just have your picks.
That
was a good show.
Yeah, it was
not
okay.
overbooked. I don't know why you keep thinking that. That was good.
See, I thought the main event was overbooked. Or the last segment.
Mandy match?
The last segment, yeah.
No, I thought that was really cool. I thought that was like, I got the like intensity, and especially if you did like if it was real, like the camera work would have been cool, because like as like the viewer, because you would have seen Undisputed Era like look at the general manager and then look back in the ring and then have shocked faces again, and then the camera would have panned out and you'd see the dudes on the apron, and you'd be like, oh, what the hell? But that was really cool, but I don't think anything, I mean, a bloody Sonya breaking Mandy's arm is fantastic.
Yes. I love the fact that we both
I know. What are the
with
odds
that?
of that?
It's
That
so
cannot
weird.
that cannot be overstated enough. What are the odds?
Because as soon as you said, I was like, no, fuck it. I don't know if you picked up on it, but I had a fucking huge smile.
I
on my
did.
face. I was
I
like, oh my
saw.
god. I was like, how the fuck has
What are
this
the
happened?
odds?
But,
That's awesome.
but both in like, obviously it was this more or less the same thing, but both in like different ways. But
Yeah,
same stipulation, same position in the card.
Right?
So
but
weird.
Women's match.
So weird.
But Io recovered from hers and did her thing. Mandy did not. And a bloody Sonya staring into the camera and just being like, "What's up?
What's up, bitch?
Oh. You saw what I did there? Fucking bloody, yeah. That's right." Oh, good show.
Yeah.
I like the Riddle movement. Poor Chad Gable. What's next for him? I need that. Oh God. I need the go home show to be. I need to know who the hooded people are. I need to finally see Bray. I'm tired of this shit. I need it. I'm excited.
I probably would have revealed him a little bit earlier, but I just enjoy teasing the hell out of you.
Yeah.
But trust me.
This is the only thing I wanted from your. As soon as you drafted Cameron Grimes second, I immediately was like, "Oh, dude, is he going to join Bray?" And you were kind of like, "Well, yeah." And I was like, "Sweet." And here we are, 4 weeks in. I need some. And then Bo Ballas is there.
All I would say is tune in next week because the payoff is big.
Oof. The hooded individuals. Oh man, who are those 4 individuals?
Who could they be?
Who could they be?
Who could they be? They could be people you've seen already. They could be people you haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, the GM knows.
The
Bastard.
GM does know.
What a dick.
Smarmy bastard. But didn't really make an appearance tonight either.
Well, I mean, other than
Apart from
being on the main event,
end,
the big culmination of it all.
His appearances are lessening, but they're becoming more important. So
it's crazy. It's almost like the guy who is writing it himself, the GM, has influence over that.
Possibly. I'm not sure. And we have Brock Lesnar and Riddle in a fight pit.
Yeah, that's intriguing.
Summerslam.
I like that. Fight pit.
Because I really enjoyed Thatcher and Riddle
Yeah, that was cool.
in NXT. I thought that was a really I mean, I'd say it's an awesome concept. It is one that's been done, in ways before. Excuse me, but the way they did it with the scaffolding and all that kind of stuff, I thought that was really cool. And the moment I went, "Oh, I've got Brock," and then you changed your mind on Riddle in the draft, I was like, "Fight pit, it's got to be."
That's cool. I like that. Fight pit is cool. That's a cool idea. Undisputed Era making some moves on New Day. That's also very cool.
Going for the titles.
Going for the title. Well, as they do, they're trying to take all of it. Roddy's going for the U.S. title, which is cool because unfortunately, no one gives a shit about Apollo Crews. Not even Apollo Crews wants to see Apollo Crews on SmackDown. Unfortunately,
Bless him.
Bless his soul.
Bless his little cotton socks.
Bless his little standing
socks.
shooting star presto.
We're only 3 days away from entering the last week
Klaus.
of Raw and Smackdown booking. It's flown by, actually.
I know, it's
to
gone
be fair.
fast.
But yeah, 3 days away, and we get your go home show for Raw, and of course in 2 days' time we get the Dalpod Observer reviewing my show tonight.
Yeah.
So we got some things coming. But of course, until we get to that point, we have to end this one. So Anthony, plug your stuff, and I know you have some new stuff. So maybe you rehearsed it a little bit better than you did Monday.
No, I haven't. Still gonna be the same.
Go for it.
I'm Anthony. Co-host here on the Dalpod, Raw general manager in the GM Mode series here as a part of Project Dits. You can find me on Twitter at wagons_warpaths. Why is that my Twitter handle, you ask? Well, that's because I am the host of my own solo pod titled Wagons and Warpaths. It is a weekly Buffalo sports talk podcast. The Wagons is in reference to the Buffalo Bills. The Warpaths is in reference to the Buffalo Sabres. Again, because it's a Buffalo Sports Talk podcast. It's been more Bills focused than Sabres focused as of late. But please, if you like NHL, if you like the NFL, or the Buffalo Bills or Buffalo Sabres, please check it out. Again, Wagons and Warpaths. You can find it on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. If you like the podcast, please rate and review and subscribe If you don't want to, that's fine. As I always say, I will accept a blood oath or your firstborn child as equal payment or signs of your undying, unfledgling allegiance. That is completely fine. And as of this week, I'm also a partner to the Daily Buffalo 716 and a Buffalo Fanatics contributor on the Buffalo Bills. So that's cool. That's the new thing added into my plugs that I still have not said enough times to be fully in rhythm with and fully in flow with. So that will get better as I continue to do that. And yeah, that's me.
Congratulations again. I know I said it on Monday, but congratulations. Well,
I appreciate it.
Kudos.
Appreciate it.
They must listen to your show whilst cleaning as well.
Yeah, definitely. My podcast, is one to clean by, and I'm. It's pretty cool. I've rebranded my solo stuff to be Buffalo Sports Focus. So I've only been doing it for May, June, July, only about like 3 months. So it's cool to have gained enough traction that a legitimate podcasting network and social media grouping and group would reach out, and yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah.
Still got to work it into the rhythm though.
You do.
Not quite there yet.
That's your thing as well.
What's my thing?
The plug.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Got to improve on that, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
But there we are. That's where we are.
It'll come in time. It'll come in time. It will.
It'll come in time. It'll come in time. My plugs. You can follow me at Project Dits on Twitter. Head to Dits on YouTube. Subscribe to me on there and you'll get some live streams every single week, Wednesdays and Fridays for NXT and SmackDown, and the odd pay-per-views whenever they drop. Gaming videos are also on that channel. Dits on Gaming is launching within the week, as is my Pocket Morty's playthrough series. So there's stuff going on. There's stuff going on the channel. And of course, you are already listening to this on your favorite podcast application. But if that podcast application allows you to review these shows, then hit that 5 stars. Leave a comment. Tell us how great we are. We love that shit. We love it up. Do it. I also have a Patreon, so you can go and support the brand, the show, the network, whatever you want to call it, the project, over on Patreon. There's plenty of tiers for you to choose from, ranging from $1 to $7. So it's not that bad, but you get exclusive content just for you.
Just for you.
Just for you. No
just
one else.
For you. No
one else. Just you.
Only you.
Only you.
It's for you.
And we also have merch. So go to TeePublic, search for Project Dits, and enjoy a wide variety of T-shirts, mugs, cushions, notepads, all that good shit. And throw
rocket
my
launchers.
logo on any of it.
Yeah, forklifts.
Yeah, we sold a forklift last week. It was great.
Fucking right. Buy
Awesome.
get that fucking merch.
Get the fucking merch.
Merch, Cameron merch.
There is Cameron merch on there, to be fair. Cameron Grams.
Cameron Grams.
Original design, Cameron Grams. Yeah, that's me. That is me. Anthony, I guess I like leaving you to say goodbyes because they're always so heartfelt. So you have the honors once again this week. It's a goodbye from me.
Bye.